Hello, today I wanted to talk about something literature related, more or less. I'm not planning on going over the entirety of Macbeth, but suffice it to say, much like the Streisand effect, where you are afraid of something happening, and so you take steps to prevent that from happening. But the things you do are the very things that make that thing happen, right? For instance, if you are afraid of someone killing you, right, who has to meet certain qualifications like Macbeth, not born of a woman and whatnot, then you say you can start your own army, you can do this, that, the other. And because you did all those things and betrayed all those people and everything, that's what made that guy kill you, right? This happens in life all the time. I don't know why nobody talks about it. I don't see any cognition of it happening. People are just like, I don't know how it happened. It happens time and time and time again in societies, on personal levels, groups, and individuals. It doesn't matter. It happens time and time again. People are afraid of someone that they love leaving them. I'm afraid he'll leave me, right? And so what do you do because you're afraid he'll leave you, right? You push him away. Right? You cheat, you do this, that, the other. You complain all fucking day, and then, they left, right? That's what happens in life over and over and over again. Some cognition of that would be nice. Is it a fallacy? No, it's the Streisand effect. It's not a fallacy. Is Barbara Streisand, some small magazine took a picture of her house and said, "This is Barbara Streisand's house." And so she hired lawyers and everything to get rid of it because she didn't want anybody to see a picture of her house. Privacy concerns and whatnot. Um, but because she hired a lawyer and everything, everybody saw that photo. It was all over the news. Streisand sues this guy or this small magazine or whatever. Suddenly, everybody's seen her house instead of just a small little subset. It's now everybody. This is happening all over the world in news. You see it all the time. But it's particularly stark in groups. So, for instance, what's happening in Israel right now, what's happening with China. Let's stay with China. Let's try and keep it without too much fire of people's very strong and polar opposite opinions. Unless you're part of the CCP, you realize that the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, is at the bare minimum a little corrupt. Um, as an understatement. They want more power and prestige in the world. They want to be taken seriously. They want the economy to be number one and everything. You can't blame them. So, how do they do this? How do they try to, uh, you know, do this? They think that they have to save face. They try to play games with Taiwan, right? They're trying to get Taiwan, or they want to pretend like they want Taiwan. They build their little islands. They're making a big song and dance. It's a big show. Everybody knows China wants Taiwan. It's an open secret, right? They say as much at their yearly meetings. We want Taiwan. And they're saying that because, we're a big, strong country. You will respect us, and you will, this, that, the other. You will treat us good and everything, and give us good trade deals and whatnot, or else, right? Um, well, because you're being such a jerk to Taiwan, nobody wants to work with you. Nobody. It goes back to game theory also. It is better to cooperate. Period. End of story. It's better to cooperate. If you can get someone to cooperate with you, their personal opinions, ethnicity, religious adherence aside, if you can get them to cooperate with you, it's good for you. It's also good for them. But that's besides the point. If only for out of self-interest, cooperate with people, and they will cooperate back. If you get known as someone who doesn't cooperate, your life's not going to be very good. You don't cooperate. Nobody wants to work with you. That's why psychopaths have trouble staying in groups. They have to keep moving and stuff because people find out that they're psychopaths, right? They're crazy. And so nobody wants to be around them. And everybody's clued into their tricks. And then they get ostracized or whatever. And then they try to trick people, capture people, manipulation through gaslighting or financial manipulation, whatever they have to do to get people to stay around them. Because it goes back to that, afraid of someone leaving you, right? Psychopaths have that. And so in order to get someone to not leave them, they act like a psychopath. And wouldn't you know, if you act like a normal person, I might leave, I might not. If you act like a psychopath, I'm definitely leaving, right? And that's not, just any sort of relationship, friendship, co-worker, my goodness. If you have a boss who's a psychopath, and it's anywhere where he'll be even a little bit accountable for his actions, his small business, his managerial position is not long for the world, right? Because cooperation is always better. And usually it's people doing bad things. It goes back, as everything does, right, to being good. If you're a good person and you do the right thing, good things will happen. It's in the Bible all over the place. You don't even have to believe in the Bible. You could be an atheist. You could be a Zoroastrian for all I care. Being good is good for you. It's good for your soul and it's good for you just in general. Here's a little quote I made. The inherent nature of evil is that it is unsustainable. It is born within its own seeds of destruction. It has its own seeds of destruction. It creates its own solution. It is always temporary. Right? Good always beats evil eventually. Good may not win every battle, but it will win every war. Right? Mental war, spiritual war, physical war. Good will always win eventually. It might not win every time, all day, every day. Otherwise, it would be perfect, right? But it always wins in the end. By the time all the chips are down and the dust is settled, good wins every time, right? You can ask the Germans in World War II, the Japanese in World War II, and yeah, all sides are guilty of something, but the chickens always come home to roost. And if you want to be like Hamlet, or not Hamlet, Macbeth, if you want to make your life, not good, a hell, then behave like a demon, right? You do have a degree of creating your own environment, all right? Whether it be the places you choose to be, people you choose to be around. Sometimes, you don't have much choice, but eventually you always do. You always do. There's always an option. It's not always a fun option, but there's always an option. You never have to suffer from evil. Never. Not forever. It's never forever. It's always temporary. For instance, here's one of the worst things imaginable that could happen to you as a human being, right? Forget your family's murdered. They rape and kill your family. Take everything, right? That's bad enough. Then they take you and they put you in a tight little space where you can't move, all right? And you're just going to starve to death there. They close the door, bye-bye, right? That's literally as bad as it gets, right? Literally not much worse than that, right? That's happened to people. Not just a couple people. It's happened to a number of people throughout history. It probably happens to people today. It probably will continue to happen to more people. You always have a choice. Even there. In fact, there you have 3 choices. One, you can just sit there and suffer in pain until you die. That's a choice. 2, you can go to imagination land. They can't control your brain, right? You can just la 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 la. I'm already in heaven. I'm thinking about that one time that I was at the park and I just had the best cotton candy in the world, right? You can go to La La Land, or you can kill yourself, right? And just cut it all short because you're gonna die anyways. I know I'd rather not starve to death. If you are looking to kill yourself or anybody, if someone is on top of you, trying to murder you, right? There's no way out. They're murdering you. You're going to die, right? Or they're R-wording you, right? They're doing the big bad, right? Right? They're doing the big bad to you, right? They're on top of you. Even if it's an animal, even if it's a grizzly bear, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. One thing you can always do. The human teeth are very strong. Your jaw is pretty strong. As far as animals are concerned, a human bite, you don't want to be bitten by a human. You don't want to be bitten by a grizzly, but you also really don't want to be bitten by a human. We're filthy creatures. And our teeth, these incisors, they're great for just cutting right through stuff. The human finger has about the same consistency as a carrot, right? So if you can bite a carrot, you can bite someone's finger off. The only limitation is in your head, right? I could go here. I could just bite down until my teeth touch, and my finger would come right off. It'd probably sound like a carrot too. You can do that to somebody. You can bite their fingers off. Your only limitation is in your mind. Just till the teeth touch. Just say, I'm touching my teeth. Another thing is if you can get access to their jugular vein, especially if they're R-wording you or on top of you or something, you can just bite there and just close your teeth. Right? There's always an option. Sometimes you can do that to yourself, right? Life got you down. Right? You're stuck in one of those things after they just took everything, and you're going down. There's no, maybe someone will save me. No. You're done for, right? There's always an option, right? But there's always an option to do the right thing too. That's worst case scenario. Right? Someone's, you're going to die slowly or quickly. Take quickly. Outside of that, it doesn't matter how bad you got it. Right? And I've had it pretty bad from time to time. I've wanted to check out a little bit early. I've wanted this, that, the other before. Now I couldn't even imagine it. Well, I can actually, but I would never. Because you always have the option. You might think you don't. You might think this is going to go on forever. It doesn't. If you can change it. I could lose everything. Right now. I have lots of stuff that I don't want to walk away from. A wife, a decent job, a chunk of change, nice living place. I've got my things. I've got my pets. I don't want to leave. Right? But If I was like, this just isn't doing it for me, I'm going to either, clock out early, or, or you can, you can just walk out your front door right now and just leave. You can do it. If you want to live an entirely different existence, you can. Back to sowing the seeds of your own destruction. That is the Hamlet thing, right? By trying to avoid something, you cause it to happen, right? You're trying to avoid, and don't get me wrong, try to avoid stuff, right? Try to avoid stuff. You're trying to avoid getting fired, so you decide to start working harder and showing up early. And what do you know? You don't get fired, you get a promotion, right? Hey, sometimes when you try to prevent something from happening, it works. But you have to try the right things, right? Do the right thing. Remember what I just said? I said if you want something good to happen, to not get fired, or even to get promotion, you do what? You slack off at work and talk about your coworkers behind their back? No. That's how you get fired. That's what some people think. They think, I know, I'll make him look really bad, so then they'll fire him and not me. And then because they're talking behind someone's back all the time, the boss figures, this guy's a gossip, I'm going to let him go instead. And so because you were a gossip, you got fired. Right? Ta-da! You did it to yourself because you did the wrong thing and not the right thing. Right? I've been in that circumstance. The other guy. People gossiped about me. I got fired. Like I said, good may not win every battle, but it will win the war. Because I got fired, that whole segment of the company just completely fell apart, and they were both fired in short process, or they quit. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it was disbanded. They all had different jobs shortly afterwards. They sowed the seeds of their own destruction by doing the wrong thing instead of the right thing. Right? That's my Sermon on the Mount for you. If anyone ever watched the whole thing, I'd be quite impressed. I make these mostly as a cathartic process, but cathartic process. And if you did watch it and you take this, I don't have an infinite well of wisdom in my life, but this I know to be true. So if you learn nothing else from me, learn that.